Hey guys, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden. Today we are nice and cozy. I have my toque on. If you're Canadian, you know, but if you're not Canadian, I got my hat on, okay? It's real cozy. I love it. I'm the type of person that loves to be cozy 24/7, and if that means having a winter hat on inside in fall, that's what's gonna happen. So we have it on. Also, I tend to do this when my hair is just not looking the best and I don't want to do anything with it. So I just put a hat on, put my hair in pigtails, which I have not put my hair in pigtails like this since it was long. So I have the cutest little short baby pigtails. But yes, anyways, we don't need to talk about my appearance. We are here to talk about board games, y'all. So I'm in such a weird mood today, but welcome back. We're going to be talking about the solo games that I have played in the month of September. But I actually only have 8 to talk about today. I've actually discovered as doing these solo videos that it's a little bit crazy for me to think that I am going to be able to every single month be able to play 10 new solo games. I feel like quickly I'm going to start to run out of new games, and I don't want to have to, go out and buy a bunch of new, like obviously I'm going to because I'm obsessed with board games, but I don't want to feel the pressure to have to every single month make sure I'm playing 10 new board games solo. So I still do have quite a bit on the shelves that we need to get to solo, but a lot of them are bigger ones and I tend to only do a few of those each month. So we're going to slowly go through those, and I might not in every single solo video like this have 10 to talk about. So I think going forward it's just going to be a series that is solo games that I enjoyed in blank. So I might have 5 one month, I might have 10 another month. We will see, but there are a few games in here that I have already talked about before, but I wanted to talk about them in a different way. So we're gonna get into those first, and then we will get into the new to me solo games that I played this month. So if you guys wanna see those, then just keep on watching. Give this video a big thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the Board Game Garden, I would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Join the garden. We'd love to have you here. I have really been enjoying making all of these board game videos, and you guys are just so freaking awesome. I think I've said this in a video before, but the community that has already grown here at the Board Game Garden just makes me so happy, and thank you guys for being here. And anyways, I'm gonna stop being gushy. Gushy? I think the word that I'm trying to think of is like mushy, but that still sounds weird. So anyways, we're gonna stop yapping and we're going to get into all of the board games that I played solo in the month of September. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting off with 2 games that I've chatted about before, but I played them in a little bit of a different way this month, and that is number 1, which is Cascadia. I've been talking your ears off about Cascadia for the past like 2 months since I got this, but Cascadia is published by AEG and Flat Out Games, and it is designed by Randy Flynn. And this is a fantastic game, either multiplayer or solo. If you do not know, I'm going to quickly go over it. Basically, you are drafting a set of a habitat tile, I believe those are what they're called, and an animal token. You're placing the habitat tile in your environment. There's like different land types and stuff that you're trying to match up. And then you're also placing an animal token on top of one of those habitat tiles that you already have down. And each habitat tile can only have certain animals on it. And then in each game, you're playing with 5 different animal cards, and each animal is scoring in different ways. And I wanted to chat about this today in this video because I have recently been playing Cascadia solo, and I actually recently discovered that there are like different challenges and achievements in the back of the rule book, which I will talk about another game from AEG and Flat Out Games that also has this, and I didn't realize. But basically at the end of the rule book in Cascadia, there are a bunch of different achievements and challenges that you can go for when you're playing solo, and you are basically just trying to score a specific thing. Sometimes it tells you, oh, you need to score this amount for the habitats, or you need to score more than this for this specific animal. And the reason why I really like this, and I might touch on this a few more times in other games, but the reason why I really enjoy this is because I find myself, when I am playing solo games, that I typically, even in multiplayer actually, I typically go for the same kind of things every time. And when you're doing these different challenges and achievements, it's kind of pushing you to try something different. I always try to do things different, but I think subconsciously you kind of try to go for the same things because you know they're successful. So it's really nice to like change things up completely and do something completely different when it comes to strategy, maybe trying to do some certain animal more than others. Like typically in a game of Cascadia, I usually don't go for the foxes a lot, but there are some challenges in here where it tells you you have to score this much for the foxes. So it's kind of pushing you towards that strategy and allowing you to do something different, which makes it really fun and like replayable and stuff because, you know, you're trying completely different things. So anyways, yes, that is why I wanted to chat about Cascadia, because I recently started doing a few of the challenges in the back of the rule book. Moving on to game number 2. This is, again, much like Cascadia, a game that I have already chatted about a ton here on the channel, but I wanted to chat about it in a different way, or just a different way that I've been playing recently, and that is Hadrian's Wall. This is published by Garfield Games and Renegade Game Studios, and is designed by Bobby Hill, and this is a crunchy roll and write. It is absolutely fantastic solo, and you guys know how much I love this game, but recently I started playing the solo campaign, which the designer, Bobby Hill, came out with a solo campaign. I just downloaded the document onto my phone and I just follow it there. Basically, it is much like Cascadia, where it's giving you different challenges and you're playing a game with those specific challenges. The Hadrian's Wall solo campaign is actually like a story that you're going through, and you have to do it one after the other. I believe with Cascadia you can kind of go to like whatever achievement you want and try it out, but with this you kind of have to start from the top and go down, and if you achieve a specific thing and a little bit more, you can get a bonus for the next game that you play, and there's a little story that goes along with it. So yes, I've been playing that. I've played 2 rounds so far, and I do want to start a third one soon, but yes, Hadrian's Wall, I think I've chatted about it here before, but I will quickly give you a rundown. You have 2 very big sheets with a lot of stuff going on, but I promise you, once you learn everything on the sheets, the game is very, very simple. You are basically just flipping one card over. That card is showing you all of the different colored workers that you take and your resources, which are just stone, and you are using those workers and using those resources to scribble in different tracks on these 2 papers, and those tracks then, when you reach certain points, give you even more workers, so you're kind of chaining every round to try to do as much as you possibly can with those workers, and you're trying to use them all up before the next round. So yes, you are building up a wall to protect your village and doing different things in your village. I kind of think of the village as a bunch of different mini games, and you don't have to do every single mini game, but I will say that much like with the Cascadia, like I was saying, with the whole pushing you to try different things, with the Hadrian's Wall solo campaign, it does that same thing where whenever I play Hadrian's Wall solo, I was always going for the same tracks in the village and the same like little mini games or buildings in the village. I would never go for the gladiators. I never went for like the temples or things like that. I was always going for the same things. And with the solo campaign, like with Cascadia, it's pushing you to, you know, do different things that you normally wouldn't do. So some of the challenges are like, you know, score this much, but also get this far on this certain track, which that certain track I might not usually go for. So it's a little bit of a challenge to kind of do something that you normally wouldn't do and try to score as best as you can. So yes, that is Hadrian's Wall, and I've been really enjoying the solo campaign of that. So that is number 2. Number 3, moving into a game that I mentioned in last month's solo video, but I said it was kind of a cheat because I played it on BGA and I kind of didn't know what I was doing, which I don't really know why I didn't know what I was doing, because the solo of this game is very simple. I don't know, but it is viticulture. I don't know if I want to tip it because I feel like everything's gonna fall, but it's fine. It's what we have to do for videos. Ooh. So yes, I ended up playing viticulture physically solo on stream. If you guys do not know, I try to stream every Sunday solo over on Twitch. It's just the Board Game Garden over there. It's always linked down below. But I did play this solo over there, and the solo variant of viticulture is so easy. Automata Factory. I always have trouble with that word, but Automa Factory does fantastic solo variants. They also did the one for not viticulture. This is viticulture, Jenna. They also did it for Wingspan, which I'm very excited to play Wingspan. Hopefully this month I'll get that to the table solo, but yes, viticulture was super easy. All you had to do was flip a card for the AI, and it tells you which spaces the AI is going to block from you for that round, and that's pretty much it. And then you also have some markers on each of the wake up track spaces, and when you use that wake up track space, you get that marker, and you can use that marker to do a bonus thing on the action, because typically in a 4-player game, there is a bonus spot that you can go to. If you are the first person at that specific spot, you get a bonus, but obviously in the solo, there's not really a bonus for being first because you're the only person. So using those markers that you've gotten from the wake up track, you can use to get the bonus throughout the game when you want to. So really enjoyed that. Absolutely love viticulture. It is one of my favorites, and I do actually have the Viticulture Tuscany expansion as well as the Viticulture World expansion, which I will be having a video of Viticulture World, like a whole review about that very soon. But yes, I'm excited to get this to the table solo with the Tuscany expansion and possibly the World expansion. I'm pretty sure I can play it cooperatively solo, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. Maybe not. Yeah. I would just need to get to 20, and then the other track would need to get to where it needs to be. Anyways, that's a different conversation for a different video. But that is number 3, viticulture. Actually, physically this time. Woohoo, Jenna. Moving into a little small roll and write. This has been a game that I have wanted for so long, but it was sold out on Board Game Bliss, and they finally got a restock of this cute little roll and write about yummy Chinese food, and that is Walk and Roll, which I want to mention right now. There were like a solid 5 or 6 people that messaged me on Instagram when this came back in stock on Board Game Bliss, and I was like so happy. Like, thank you guys for like seeing that and thinking of me and messaging me. That just like made my day. But I will say, the moment that I got the email from Board Game Bliss and it had Walk and Roll on there, I ordered it immediately because I was so excited for this. So like I said, I've been wanting Walk and Roll for a while. This is a little roll and write, and it is from a publisher that has a lot of really cute games. I believe they are based in China or somewhere in Asia, I believe. Singapore, designed in Singapore. But it is Ori Game, which that is the publisher. They have a bunch of different games that I'm excited to look into more. And it is designed by Daryl Chow. A lot of the Ori games are designed by Daryl. And yes, I'm excited to try some more games from him. And they did actually come out with a new expansion for Walk and Roll called The Korean Wave, which I'm excited to try that one out as well. It just gives you more dishes to play with and stuff. So this is Walk and Roll, and basically it is kind of like a Yahtzee style roll and write, where you have, there's actually like a little dice tray in the box, which I think is very cute. And you have 6 die, 4 of them are white and 2 of them are red. In the solo variant, you just have all 6 at all times, and you're rolling those die and you're trying to get certain pairings of certain things in order to fill in dishes. So for example, there might be a noodle shrimp dish that you need to roll 2 noodle die and 1 shrimp. You're going to use those 3 dies to mark off that dish that you made. But you can roll the die up to 3 times, much like in Yahtzee, where you can roll and keep a few and then roll the remaining to try to get something else. Keep maybe 1 from there and then roll 1 more time to get the best results that you possibly can. And there are some different things that you can chain, and if you get menus kind of help you with gaining permanent things, or I guess things that you can use instead of the menu. It's a little bit confusing to explain, but overall it is a very, very simple, light roll and write that I really, really enjoyed. There is also another side of the menu board, which the menu is kind of like your roll and write sheet, and it is dry erase, but there's another side of it that is actually a more expert mode. So if you want something a little bit more challenging, you have the other side, which I've only played with the more simple side so far. But I'm really excited to see how that plays, and then I'll possibly get the Korean Wave expansion and try out that as well. I just love any sort of game that has to do with food. I think it's the cutest thing, and when something is called Walk and Roll and it is about Chinese food, I just love it so much. So that was my number 4, that is Walk and Roll. So moving on to the 5th game, this is the one that I kind of touched on when I was talking about Cascadia, because it's in the same kind of grouping, I guess, but that is Calico. Calico came out before Cascadia, and it is also published by AEG Flatout Games, and then it is designed by Kevin Russ. And I purchased this a while back, and I just love the theming of this. I love tile placement and just like puzzly games, so I thought this would be a great one for us to get. And we played it a few times, and unfortunately Francis is not the hugest fan. I think he just doesn't like when he doesn't have a lot to choose from, and most of the time in Calico, basically you are drafting from a pool of 3 tiles in the middle. They are hexagon tiles of different patterns and colors, and they are patches that are going onto your quilt that you're trying to get different cats to come and lay on. Different cats want certain groupings of different patterns and stuff like that. And then you can also get little buttons to put on your quilt for groups of colors. And then you also have some personal goals that you're trying to surround. There's like little patches that have certain goals of what colors and patterns they want surrounded, or them to be surrounded by. There we go. But it's really frustrating when you have a tile in the center that you see that you want, but it's pretty rare that that tile will still be there when it gets to your turn. So it's a lot of seeing tiles that would be perfect for you and then seeing someone else take them. So I feel like that's kind of the part that frustrates Francis the most. But I really enjoy the challenge of kind of working with what you get and trying to get the most possible. But I started actually playing this solo in September because I, at the beginning of September, discovered that there were achievements and challenges at the end of the rule book, much like Cascadia, which I think I discovered that in this one. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I wonder if there's also some in Cascadia. So that's how I found those. But I have really been enjoying the little achievements and challenges in the back of the book. Basically, they're just things like score this many points and get 2 of this cat on your board, or score this many points and have every single color button on your board. So it's kind of giving you challenges like the other games. I'm not going to talk about it all over again, but it pushes me to do different things throughout the game and gives you a good challenge. So I've been really, really enjoying Calico for that reason, and I'm excited just to get it to the table more because it's a game that I really, really enjoy. It's just we don't get to play it very often because Francis doesn't like it, and whenever I say like, hey, we should play Calico, he's like, no, I'll sit out. I was like, no, please, just play for me. So yes, that is Calico. I'm trying to find some space here on the table. Moving into game number 6. This is a classic, and guys, when I tell you I've been obsessed with this game recently, that's like an understatement, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. I have been obsessed with this game. I've played it multiple times on BGA. It is just so much fun, and I actually played this for the first time solo in September, and that is Castles of Burgundy. Oh my goodness, I love this game so much. I think it's such a fun puzzle of trying to get the most points for getting different things in your duchy and trying to fill up all of the same colored groups and using your dice. And I'm gonna be honest, we just finished our 20 to 11 video, and this was in like my 20 to 11. I forget where it was on the list. I think it was like number 16 or 17, and honestly, like in the past month, I feel like this probably has moved up because I don't know why I've enjoyed it so much, but I've just been loving it. Anyways, basically on your turn, you're going to be rolling 2 die and then taking those 2 die to do 2 different actions on your turn. You can either take a hexagon tile from one of the pools or one of the sections of the main board. There's 6 different sections that are each number of a die, so 1 to 6, and you're using that die number that you've rolled to take one of those hexagons and put it into your storage. Or you can also use one of your die numbers to take a hex from your storage and place it in your duchy on certain spots. They all have specific numbers. Or you can use your die to get workers that allow you to change the number of your die up 1 or down 1. And you can get some goods and stuff as well. It's not a super difficult game, but I feel like it's a little bit confusing to like explain if you don't see it, but I guess you guys are seeing it with the B-roll. But in a solo game of Castles of Burgundy, you are not trying to score the most points. You are trying to fill up your entire duchy, which I played this solo one time in September, and I do want to play it solo again because I really enjoyed the challenge of just trying to fill up your duchy, which proved to be very difficult. I did not do very well on my first game, but you're using the point track to actually get you free actions. Once you hit, I believe, 45, you get a free action, and then the like maximum that you need goes down to 40, so that when you hit 40, you get another free action, and then it goes down to 35. You hit 35, you get another free action. So it's really nice to have that because you are going to be gaining points throughout the game, but you're using those to get free action. So I really enjoy that aspect of the game and just trying to get different tiles to do different things. All of the different colored tiles do different things, and chaining different actions and stuff like that. I just really enjoy Castles of Burgundy. And we've had it for a while, and we need to play it more because I freaking love it. So moving on to number 7. This is a game that a lot of people were excited to hear my thoughts on the solo variant of. That is Creature Comforts. This is published by KTBG, or Kids Table Board Games, and it is designed by Roberta Taylor. And this game is the cutest thing in the entire world. Basically, you are a family of critters trying to collect different resources throughout spring, summer, and fall in order to prepare your den or your home for winter. You're trying to collect these resources in order to get these different cards that are like different items that you put in your home that make your home cozy. I freaking love this game. It is adorable. I will say, is not my favorite multiplayer, but I really enjoyed it solo because the solo variant is pretty much identical to the multiplayer. It's just you get to do your turn over and over again instead of having to wait for everyone else to do their turns. So I really enjoy that. There's like hardly any downtime. Basically on your turn, you have your die, your family die, and then you have 4 town die, and you are using all 6 of those die in order to get different resources on the board where you put your workers. So before you roll the town die, but after you roll your family die, so you know 2 of the numbers that you can use, you're placing your 4 workers out on the board on different spots, and each of those spots have different die that are required in order to get those resources. So for example, there might be a spot that I put my worker that I need a 4, 5, and a 6. So I might see that in my family die, I have a 5, but I'm hoping that when the family die are rolled, or when the town die are rolled, I will get that 4 and 6 that I need in order to get those resources from that spot that I put my worker. You have 4 different workers that you're placing in different spots to get different resources, to get more cards, and you're gaining those resources in order to purchase different cards and place them in front of you to get points in the end. And there's also different constructions that give you different things throughout the game that help you get different things. So yes, it's a very fun game, very, very cute. It's not difficult. I mentioned, I believe in the other video that I just did, that I could picture my niece, I believe she is 10 or 11, I believe that she would be able to play this and grasp the whole concept of it and how to play, but it still allows for players like me that play board games quite often to still have a fun time with it. There's still enough strategic decisions throughout the game that I really enjoy it, and I'm just a huge fan of anything cozy. Literally right beside me right now, I have a TV on with the fireplace channel. You guys can't hear it because I have it on mute, but just seeing the fireplace beside me, oh, it just makes me so cozy. So this was a must for me. I love anything cozy, and it is just a very cute, very nice game. And then moving on to the final game for today, game number 8. This is a game that I have been very excited to chat about. I have only played this game solo. I have played this multiplayer on BGA, but I have yet to get this to the table multiplayer, which I really want to get it to the table multiplayer. But I feel like Francis is always very hesitant for tile laying games. I don't know why, but I'm gonna get it to the table multiplayer soon. Fingers crossed. But that is the big boy game of Isle of Cats, or The Isle of Cats. And this is designed by Frank West and published by City of Games. And I love this game so, so much. Like I mentioned, I've only played this solo so far, aside from playing it multiplayer on BGA. I don't know if that counts, but I really want to get this to the table multiplayer just to experience the whole, like, drafting the cards in multiplayer, because in the solo variant of the Isle of Cats, there's this whole story that obviously there's the bad guy that's coming to the island. You're trying to get these cats off of the island before he gets there. But in the solo variant, it is added that your sister, your sneaky little sister, has snuck aboard and she's trying to take credit for all of your work. So you're kind of working against your sister, and she's trying to get points for things that you're doing, and different cats' colors are scored in different ways. So I feel like the solo variant of the Isle of Cats just feels so different, or just like a completely different, not entirely a completely different game from the multiplayer, but there's just these added things that you're having to worry about, and I find it very, very fun. Basically, your sister is going to be scoring for the colors of cats that you're putting onto your boat. So in the first round, one of the colored cats is going to be flipped over, and that's going to be the cat that your sister is going to gain 5 points for. Every single cat of that color. So for example, if the first colored cat was red, my sister would gain 5 points for every red cat that was on my boat. And in the second round, the next one flipped over, your sister would score 4 points for every cat of that color, and then the next one would be 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. So your sister is gaining points for every single colored cat on your boat, but more for others than some of the others. So I really enjoy that strategic thinking where you don't know exactly what order those colors are going to come up in. You know the first round that that specific color of cat is going to be worth 5 points for your sister, so you're obviously trying not to get any of those. But the other 4, you don't know what order they're going to be flipped in, so it's kind of like, ooh, which one's going to be flipped next, and you're kind of having to change your strategy as the cats are flipped. Your sister also has some goals. She has 3 of them. I guess they're lessons. They're her solo lessons, and they're things that she will score for at the end of the game based on our boat. So for example, she might have one that if we have you know, a certain amount of rats still showing at the end of the game, she will score for that. I don't think I fully explained the game of the Isle of Cats, but basically you have cards that you're drafting. Some of them are baskets, which allow you to take different cats and put them on your boat. The cats are different polyomino shapes that you're placing onto a boat, and you're trying to fill up the boat in the best way possible to fill different rooms. Any empty room is worth 5 points at the end of the game, so you're trying to fill all the rooms. And then you have, you know, lessons, which are end the game goals. So there might be ones that are like, oh, get 5 purple cats by the end of the game and you'll score this much. And then there's also Oshak's cats, which are wild cats that you get to determine what color once you place them. And then you also have treasures that you can put on the boat. You're using fish. It's a little bit hard to explain, but I definitely recommend looking more into it. It is a fantastic game. I really enjoyed the solo variant. Like I said, it feels like a completely different game. Not fully different, but you are working very different from if you were playing the multiplayer game. So I really enjoy that. But I'm excited to play that more solo, as well as multiplayer, because I still have yet to play it physically multiplayer. So fingers crossed, wish me luck at getting it to the table multiplayer, maybe in October. But I think that is going to be everything for today's solo video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing all 8 of these games that I played in the month of September. Definitely give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. It really helps the videos be seen. Subscribe if you have yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. I believe we hit 7,000 subscribers already today, which is insane to me. I kind of have a little bit of a goal. Hopefully, maybe we can get this by the end of the year, but I would love to be able to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. So hopefully we can do that. If you have any friends that enjoy board games, let them know about the Board Game Garden and help me maybe get to this goal of reaching 10,000 by the end of the year. I would love that. But also, I would love to have a chat down below in the comments about all of these solo games that you guys played in September. Let me know, based on any of these, is there any other solo games that you think I should check out and try? I'm very excited to try out Verdant or Verdant whenever that comes to retail. Hopefully I can get a copy of that. And yeah, I'm very excited for October. I have my list of solo games that I want to try to play in October, so hopefully we can get those done. Also, if you guys ever want to see me play a game solo and just hang out and chat live, like I said, I do solo Sunday live streams over on Twitch every Sunday, or I try to do them every Sunday. Definitely go check out that. I always have the Twitch channel down in the description. But anyways, I think that is going to be everything for today. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you guys in my next board game video. Bye, friends.